start the recording now with that, and then hopefully Camtasia will end up loading. Sometimes it'll pop up like 5 minutes later. I just got a new computer, I haven't put Camtasia on there yet. So we'll see how that goes. I can't promise this will be recorded. Oh, Chris is recording, that's awesome. So maybe we'll have a backup there. All right, you guys can start shooting off questions. Some people have already. By the way, I got a lot of tests going right now. I'm starting to see some new stuff. I don't want to say anything exactly yet, but I'm excited with all the tests I got going on because a lot of data coming in. Maybe by Dallas I'll know some stuff. We'll see. All right. So I'm showing my screen. Got the recording going with Camtasia. All right, first one from Yasin. Is it fine to remove the links that my PBN was linking out to and remove Link Juice Keeper and use that PBN as a money site? Yeah. I mean, most cases I would say it is Yasin. But I'm sure there's cases where that may not be a good move. You know, obviously if you have like a penalty or something like that. But I mean, if it's just like, you know, you're no longer using the links going out to wherever you're linking to, and you just kind of want to just reuse it for something else, there's no problem with that. All right, one of my clients had an ugly URL string on all of his pages. I organized it and made it look good. The site had no links going to it, but the PA was still over 10 and some over 20 on mostly all of his pages. My question is, should I through one redirect each ugly URL page to the good-looking URL page? Would it transfer any juice? If it had no links going to it, it's not going to matter, Yasin. You're just going to get a new optimization score, and you'll rank differently, you know, with keywords in the URL and stuff. Most likely you'll rank better unless it contributes over optimization. I don't think it will since you have no links, unless the on page is just slammed with keywords. So, yeah, I mean, it's not going to give you any more juice, but you probably will rank differently. Most likely better. I'm hearing different things to do from people. I'm just going to do what Greg does for now. Do you only use PBNs to rank? If not, what else do you do? Sending them to social. I mean, like when I want to rank a site and I want to be safe, I'll use like, you know, social stuff. You know, if it's local, I'll use some citations. Recently, I haven't been doing a lot of citations. I'll just do like 15 top-notch citations and then juice those out with PBNs if I need to. But I mean, mostly, yeah, I'm using PBN type stuff to rank. But with data I'm seeing, it's I don't want to talk about it yet, but yeah, mostly PBNs right now, pretty much all PBNs, like when something's important. But as I get more data, I'm testing other stuff, and I'll let you guys know when I get more concrete data. I don't want to reveal anything too soon and give people wrong information. All right, from Yasin, here's a long one here. So last week we went over a site that was stuck, if you remember. Can age of a domain really impact someone who's ahead of you in the search engines because no one on the first page is doing on-page stuff but me, but I'm still stuck? Yeah, I mean, age of domain can definitely affect. I mean, especially if you're new, you know, sometimes this won't let newer domains rise up as quick for some of the stuff I've seen. The only thing I can think of for not ranking high is the age of my domain, which was created in September. September, I think, would have enough age to rise up in most niches at least. Compared to other sites that are 10 plus years old and how I have only one brand in anchor text from a PBN, the rest are not branded, just keywords I want to rank for. Also on that page, I'm trying to rank for multiple car service to airport keywords on the same page, like car service to BWI, car service to Lewis, car service to Reagan National Airport, and my title is Reagan National Airport. I'm thinking that now that I should just make a separate page for each keyword, so I can put the keyword in front of the title to help my rankings. What do you think? My problem is I already created my URL like this. Should I just create different pages and throw on the old page to a main page and make different pages for each keyword? Well, remember we went over last time where you can really theme your site for a particular keyword by sending links to the home page. You know, like if you send a whole bunch of like, you know, airport shuttle service, car service type stuff to your homepage. As we analyzed that site last week, they had that all going to their homepage, and then they have specific pages optimized for each keyword, and that's why they're ranking so well. So I don't know if you targeted your homepage yet, but you can start doing that. But yeah, I mean, with you not having you probably should have broke that up from the get-go. That can be a little messy changing it now. If you're comfortable doing it, go ahead. I don't know how specific the keywords are going to that main inner URL you have going, but what you could do is redirect those to the home page, create individual pages, and then see how it pans out from there. And that may be one thing I try is, since you have so many links going to one URL, you didn't really optimize like pages for each URL. You could just redirect to them to the home page. That will optimize your entire site for that. And then when you create each individual page on each keyword, they could jump up from where they are now. I mean, that's something that definitely could work. And then if you need to, you can just send the keywords to the individual pages. So that's most likely what I would do, although I don't know exactly how you have it set up, so don't, that's not 100%, but from what I'm reading, that's probably what I would do. All right, we got one from Chris here, and I'm not going to be able to get the other one in this screenshot, so I'll take another one. All right, so thanks, Chris. Hope you're well as well. With expired domains as money sites, do you see much ranking from content only before PBN links get created, or does it still take a few links to establish the new theme? I have a site about a month in, and there's very little happening from the content alone in the terms of long tails. Yeah, I do, Chris. And sometimes I don't like that, and it's usually just there's something up with the site, like something I'm missing. Um, and it's fun you say that because I'll always put up the site and kind of optimize the first few pages like for long tails, and I'll do checks on them, and I can always tell when I have a super powerful site because like I'll shoot right up to page 1, 2 for somewhat long tail keywords without any links. So yeah, I mean if it's a really good site, you will pop up even without relevant anchor related links going to it. And that's also a good way to kind of gauge the power of the site. Because I mean, sometimes there's just unforeseen things like I'll get a site and I think it's going to be super powerful and just doesn't do that well. I'll put up initial content, it doesn't rank where I would expect it to. And the opposite end, I'll get sites, like DA 35, 40 range that will smoke a good DA 50 site that I thought would do really good. So there's definitely unforeseen things in sites that I think just make them more powerful. I'm always looking into what, different things. What obviously Alexa's a big one. I've realized, just visitors going to the site and all that. But yeah, I mean, if you put up a site and it's not ranking where you would expect it, you might just want to find another one. I don't know how competitive the keywords are, but I can usually get a good gauge by putting up a site and just seeing where my long tails land. All right, so let me get a new screenshot. But yeah, Chris, to answer your question, you can definitely rank very well without any relevant anchor text. Just the power of the site, and that's when you know you got a really good one. Like that America Speaks site I had for the affiliate example, that was a really strong site. All right, for my niece, I've spent some time researching PBNs, and I have some questions related to finding PBNs. Is it a problem if when I look at the Wayback Machine, I see that quite a bit of time has been redirected to another address? It shows a message that at the time of the crawl there is a redirect. I'm not worried about that, Anise, as long as it's not redirecting to as long as someone didn't use it as like a redirect to like a casino type thing or porn. I'm usually okay with that. Usually I look for that's it's like a redirect to like one of their other brands. Like they changed their website. I'm not saying it would hurt if it was being redirected to like a porno type site, but I just haven't messed with that myself. Like if I see that, I just don't mess with it. Is it a problem if for some time instead of having the website installed on the PBN, I can see hosting company's page in the Wayback Machine? No, not a problem. If I search for expiring, not expired domains in the auction, should they be indexed, or is it okay if they're not indexed? Expiring. I'm not sure I ever looked in that section on niece, or I haven't in a long time, so I'm not sure. I usually look at auction domains, so I'm not quite sure about that. I don't want to give you a wrong answer there. Is it a problem if the domain name means something specific? Example, a certain restaurant. To what I understand from the training is a problem, and I should look for general names. No, that's not a problem. And actually, I like looking for that type of stuff on niece, because usually that means natural links going to it. Like I like websites that were like real businesses, organizations, type of stuff like that. I don't want stuff where people made the site specifically to make money from the website. You know what I mean? So. And is it okay to buy sites that used to be in a different language and set up a PBN in English? No, I don't. I stay away from those on niece. I've had a lot of problems with those with penalties, so I stay away from them. All right, so I gotta get another screenshot. We got long questions today. All right. From me saying, is it fine to remove the links my PBN was linking out to and remove link choose keeper and use that PBN as a money site? Yeah, we just talked about that. Yeah, we already answered all of that one. He just put all his questions into one. All right, Thierry. No problem. You got it. Anyways, I have a few PBNs that I want to transfer from Network Solutions with Perfect Privacy LLC. However, I have to make the who is public during the transfer. Does that mean that I can't link these PBNs to the same money site or different Web 2.0s to the same money site, or will I still be good after the transfer? After the transfer, just put on privacy and you'll be good. I did have a weird case where I transferred some Network Solutions to GoDaddy and they all got de-indexed, but I think that's because Google has my my Network Solutions customer IDs spam, like marked as spam, because I have so many PBNs that they caught with that customer number. So it probably got put in some like blacklist file, like where if you see this customer number, de-index the site. So I don't think you'll have that problem. That's my opinion, but you can transfer them when you put them up. Just make sure they index. Should be no problem. All right, for a first timer, do I buy 3 to 4 PBNs and link to my money site straight away? How many PBNs do you need to push up the rank for a competitive keyword? I mean, it depends what other links are in the mix, Malene. I recommend newbies get social signals going first, like Facebook, Twitter, all that type of stuff. If it's a local site, get citations going. If it's an affiliate site, usually I'm not as concerned for people because you're not risking someone else's business, so you can send PBNs to them right away. Just be careful. And how many you need to push it up? There's so many other things involved with that question, so I would need to know more. Competitive can be a loosely used keyword. So, all right, loved your one-on-one comments on the record video. They were crazy hard. I only bought a domain. Yeah, one-on-one sucks. They're very technical, and I'm not a technical person. They drove me crazy. So, all right, Steve. Actually, they're a good hosting company. I shouldn't say they suck. It's just technical. I have an expired domain just set up as a PBN. I published a dummy post to get it indexed, and I also published another post and linked it to some social profiles, which did move, but not much. I have now done the penalty test. You show us and it still looks fine, still shows on page 1. Is it now okay to use this site to link directly to money site? I mean, yeah, it should be. That penalty check's a really good test. That it at least doesn't have like a strict spam penalty, any type of strict penalty. But yeah, I mean, generally that's safe to use as far as penalties goes to a money site. All right. After linking 3 or 4 PBNs, what should be my next step to start pushing the rank? Are there any social site linking videos that I'm not sure how to do this? Yeah, I mean, look at the Iowa City SEO over the shoulder series, Malene. You can start linking to your social properties and all that type of stuff. And I go over the anchor text I use and all that. All right, for my niece. More questions about PBNs. If the domain has powerful links pointing to it, but they go to subpages but not the root, is it still as good? No, I'll say it's not as good. Is that where I should use the simple redirect plugin in WordPress? To be honest, I've never really looked at stuff going to subpages. I mean, inner pages is fine because that redirects. I'm not sure if Link Juice Keeper redirects subpages or not. Um, it should. I'll have to look into that. But I mean, inner pages, it definitely redirects. I'm not sure about like subdomains though. All right. Is it okay if quite a few of the incoming anchor texts contain the same phrase, 20 to 40%, if they are from real sites pointing to the PBN, not spam? Yeah, I mean, I get a lot of them where it's like branded anchor text, name of site, stuff like that. But if it's like 20 to 40% of like 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 make money, something like an obvious money keyword, that's something I might be a little worried about. It just depends. Or do I understand it right that age domains can give a boost even if they do not have many powerful links pointing to them? Absolutely. Is it a bad footprint if I have several PBNs registered on the same day and pointing to my website? I guess it's okay. I mean, I deal with auction domains, so they're not showing registered on the same day. Even if you register them, if you get them all on the same day, one might be from '02, one might be from '05. So, I mean, that's not something I worry about. Um, as far as actual expired domains, I don't deal with them a ton, so I'm unsure on that. Gregory Ortiz deals a lot with them, so he would know a little more about that. I haven't heard anything from him though with problems with that. Although, I mean, that is something I would think that they could look at, at least down the road if they're not already. All right, if I have 1 to 3 PBNs on the same cheap postings, is it okay to send them to 2.0s pointing to the same money site? Because it is only 1 to 3 on the same host. Um, 1 to 3 on the same cheap hosting. I think that could be a footprint. I usually change that up, Thierry, just in case. But I've never like done a test where I'm like, okay, I test that. I'm gonna see if I get hit. So I've never tested that. So you mean usually to be safe, I don't do that. Like one host to one set of PBNs and that's it, or one set of 2.0s for a particular site and that's it. If I'm gonna link to any 2.0 linking to that site, I'm usually doing it with a different hosting account. Not saying it's going to hurt you, but it's something that, I mean, if you think logically, that could definitely be a footprint. All right, from Aline, how many pages are usually needed on an affiliate site to make it look authoritative? I mean, it depends how competitive. I have affiliate sites literally with a few pages that make a couple $100 a day. So, I mean, it just really depends. How many times can you link to the same money site from the same PBN site? If post number 3, for example, links to money site 1, can post number 4 also link to the same money site? Or do we need to wait until we've posted a few more times and then maybe post number 10 can link to the same money site? Also, how many times can we link out from the same post, as I hear this may have changed? I mean, you can link to the same money site from the same post or different posts. That's fine. Just be careful be careful linking to a site from the same PBN just too many times over and over again. With different PBNs. As far as the amount of times you can link out from the same post, I mean, it just depends how many words you have in the post and all that. I mean, I try not to overdo it. You don't want to spam it, but just know that the more stuff you link out to, I mean, the more you're risking. That's all. But I mean, I've seen people with PBNs that literally link out to hundreds of different sites and they do fine, but if they get caught, then it's going to just going to have a negative effect possibly on more sites. That's all. All right, from Peter, do I have to keep publishing on the Web 2.0s or will they be shut down when there is no activity over a long period? How often should I publish new content on Web 2.0s? A lot of my Web 2.0s, I'll put up the content and I won't update them and I have no problem. But I do make them pretty quality, you know what I mean? I don't just like put up spammy content. All right, I have a potential new client that I'm talking to. He has around 200 domains. About half of them he has made into basic WordPress blogs, all in the same niche of plumbing, but all have the same content on each of them, and each site is a local EMD. He has also linked all sites together, and he has no privacy protection on his domain, so Google will know they're all his sites. Some of them are ranking on page 1, even though the site profiles have bad metrics, so some have 30 referring domains, 3K backlinks, which looks spammy. I'm recommending to him we just start with a new site not linked to his dodgy network. However, if I link to one or two of his sites to show him I can push them onto page 1, could I hurt my PBNs by linking to a site associated to a network like this? Yeah, I mean, they could, Steve, and yeah, I don't like what he has going on. I'm surprised he has some of them ranking on page 1 with the way he has it set up. They must not all be linking to each other, like, like number 1 is linking to the other 199, number 2 is linking to the other 199. If it was like that, I don't think any of them would be ranking. So the ones that are ranking probably just don't have as big of a footprint. But I don't like it at all how he has it set up. I wouldn't even work with that if it were me. I mean, you would probably be okay using a PBN to push up one of them to show them what you can do, Steve. Um, or you can just go pick a random site, like, hey, look, I'll go choose someone else's site, send a link to it, and watch it move up. I'm going to tell you the site, look where it's ranked, and watch me move it up. You can do something like that. But most likely using your PBN to link to one of those sites shouldn't hurt you, as long as one of the sites of his is already ranking. You should be okay with that. I have multiple domains registered with GoDaddy with private registration. Who is registered says Domains by Proxy LLC. Can I point all these PBNs to the same money site or a different website when pointing to the same money site? Thank you. Yes. This isn't really like a footprint, Domains by Proxy LLC, because it's used in so many people's who is information. A footprint is something that specifically identifies you as, it can individualize you, or remember it's probability. Like if you're using a smaller domain company, like this was Hover or something like that, maybe where they only have like 1,000 customers, and you have 5 domains all from Hover pointing to your money site, and all 5 are from Hover, the chances of that are slim to none. But GoDaddy, I mean, they have millions and millions and millions and tens of millions of people who use them. So, 5 GoDaddy domains pointing to a money site is a lot more possible, so they're not going to hit you for that. All right. So remember, it comes down to probability. And footprints are mainly like something that can individualize you. All right, from Malene. I bought my first domain name brand new for my money site, but I'm finding it difficult to rank it. Currently, if I go to Google and type domainname.com, the site comes up as the 6th one, but if I type domain-name.com, I don't even see it. That's not necessarily a bad thing, Malene. If a site doesn't have any links to it yet, then it's not going to pass that test. In order for that test to be reliable, the site's got to have a decent amount of links going to it at least. Like it's pretty reliable for like a lot of auction PBNs the way I teach, because we look for somewhat strong domain. I mean, even like medium, low level should pass the test. A lot of expired domains, like actual expired, they're close to not passing, or they're like in the in between. I found, because I do have like 80 expired domains that I mess with. But most of my auction domains, if they don't pass that, I know they're penalized because they have enough links to where they should be passing the test. So I wouldn't necessarily say that's a problem, Lean. It just depends if you have links going to your site and how powerful they are. Sometimes like when I'm unsure, like with an expired domain, what I'll do is I'll create like a weird title as well. So if it's like domain dash whatever Greg.com, then I'll do my title like Greg the jumping jacking jerk, whatever. All right, so then I'll do domain-greg.com, Greg the jumping. Then I'll do my title. I'll copy this. And that, like, the longer you can make this and the more specific, that you should, even without links, you should probably be ranking pretty well for that, because that's not going to have a lot of results. So I mean, you can take it even further with penalty tests, like doing stuff like that, like mixing domain name space domain extension with title, and you can kind of check with that. But I mean, it depends how many links you have going to your site. All right, from Jason, hope you're doing well. Thanks, Jason. If I'm looking to build up DA trust on a site, can I build do follow branded URL anchors on highda.edu.gov profile pages and hit those pages with the PBNs? Yeah. I mean, that's going to build your DA and trust most likely. I don't know as much about trust, but it's going to build your DA. I don't know a ton about trust yet. I'm still trying to find that the correlation with domain authority and all that with trust. All right, if that works, the profile page links are all branded. Do the anchors at the PBNs point to the profile page to get detected by the money site? So I'll need to use long tail keyword-related anchor text on tier 2. Yeah, I mean, to the links, if you're going to do that, the links going to those profile pages, I would do them like I did in the Iowa City SEO example. So check out that series. Where you're doing, like if you're linking to greg.edu, you might do, Greg edu page for one. Then the next one, maybe you'll do a keyword optimized one. Like if you're selling popcorn machines, you'll do, check out this popcorn machine, whatever. You know what I mean? So you want to do a mix of like branded and keyword. And that's what I do. Why are the results in Google on mobile different from Google on desktop? I mean, they're just doing things differently between the two, Malene. Mine are usually pretty similar, to be honest, but yeah, I have heard that reported, and I mean, it's just something they're doing. If you're ranking a site and put a membership site on a subdomain, will that have an effect on your SEO? Or should you rather put the membership site on a different URL? I mean, it shouldn't have an effect on your SEO, Helene, as far as negatively. I mean, I don't know what kind of membership site you're doing, but I mean, there shouldn't be any problem with that. All right. Recently, you discouraged the use of link juice keeper. Is it still a problem? And should we? I don't know. Did I discourage? I don't. A couple people have told me that I discouraged. I don't think I ever did. Um, what I'm telling people is just I'm not necessarily using it if it doesn't have a whole bunch of links going to the inner pages. If it has a whole bunch of links going to the inner pages, I'm still using it, and I have no problem. But if I get a PBN and there's maybe links to just one or two inner pages, I might just manually 301 them. The reason for that is just so I don't have link juice keeper on every domain I have. For me, maybe if something happens and I see, well, a whole bunch of my PBNs got de-indexed and a whole bunch didn't, that's something I can compare. Well, was link juice keeper the problem? You know what I mean? So for me, that's just kind of more of like more data, I guess. For you guys, having link juice keeper on every one probably is not going to be a problem. For me, it's just something I'm doing just in case. All right, let's say I have two shared hosting accounts, Host9 and HostGator. On each account is one PBN and one money site. Is it a footprint or a problem to link from HostGator PBN to Host9 money site and vice versa? What if we expand the scenario to 4 to 5 accounts? No, it shouldn't be a footprint. I was just trying to think of how that would work. If you expand that to 4 to 5 hosting accounts, that kind of wraps my mind up. I would have to see it in action when you go beyond 1 or 2. It shouldn't be, Peter, the way I'm thinking of it. It shouldn't be a footprint as long as each PBN linking to the money site is on a different host, all right? And then you're not mixing anything else. Like don't mix the other stuff together. So if you have 5 hosting accounts, you can put money site 1 on host 5, but only link to it from 1 through 4, and you should be fine. All right, Ahrefs versus Moz versus Command Center. Which one do I need to get to analyze PBNs? For you, Command Center would probably be best. It has all of them in one, and it has the Backlink Explorer, which I use to analyze them. So I mean that would probably be the best go-to for you. With expired tumblers and other WebTube windows, is it important that they also have a good trust flow, or are they powerful enough they only have a good high DAPA? I notice a lot of these expired WebTube windows have trust flow 0, so I was wondering if they can have any use like that, and can their trust flow be easily boosted? I don't look a ton at trust flow. I just started looking at it maybe a month ago. I mean, the correlation I find is when I do my method where I'm looking more at DA and good quality links, the trust flow is usually higher. So, I mean, I know trust flow plays an impact, but I more look at DA and just quality of links. And then I'll peek at trust flow now, because I'm trying to find the correlation of what how that comes into play, because I've never really looked at it before. So, I mean, if the trust flow is 0, I would say there probably is a problem, because I'm finding the correlation that, when they meet my metrics, they have higher trust flow. So it's kind of a correlation. But yeah, I mean, I would, if it was me, I would just look at the whole picture. I use trust flow and DA more as like a filter, and then look at the quality of links. If you have high trust flow or high DA, PA, and then you have quality links behind it, you're going to most likely be good no matter what. I wouldn't worry too much about, like what is the trust flow. Just use it as a filter, and then if it has good links backing it up, then you're going to be fine. All right. Remember, these services, like they're not like Google's official rating. Like they're just rating it themselves. They don't have an exact rating system. Like you can't go just by what they like. If something has a high DA, it doesn't mean it's a good site. Most of you know that by now. Just like if it has trust flow, I'm sure it doesn't mean it's a good site. The links got to back it up. Like this is not Google scoring. These companies scoring. They're trying their best to score what they think Google thinks it is. So, and that's why you can just use them as a filter and then kind of manually check the quality of the links. All right, I bought a PBN with a DA11 PA20, TrustFlow 8, CF15. They assured me it has a lot of power because it has some great high PR backlinks. Another, some PRs. Is it possible because the metrics seem too low for me to really have a lot of power? I mean, I'll have to see the links, but yeah. With those metrics, it's not going to be super powerful, Carl. Not saying it's not going to move something, but that most likely won't have like a ton of power. Is it safe to use two different PBNs on the same hosting account to link to two money sites, both on the same hosting account, but different hosting account than the PBN, of course? Two money sites have the same IP. Two different PBNs on the same hosting. I mean, yeah, that should be fine, Carl. But I mean, the more you expand that, like if you kept doing that, it could turn to a footprint, I'm guessing. I mean, the safest thing to do is to just try to get your sites on different IP. Well, hold on. Let me think to what I. That shouldn't be a problem, Carl. Most likely that is not going to be a problem. Because I mean, I put a lot of my money sites on host 9. But the reason I like host 9 is they switch up the IPs. That does kind of make it a little safer. Some people don't like host 9. I like them. I've had no problems with them. They're quick. Traffic plan's really good too. I don't know if they're on the same IP or not. But Carl, doing that, what you're saying, I haven't had a problem with that so far. All right, but most of my sites are on host 9. They do change around their IPs, so but I don't think you'll have a problem with that. I have 2 domains, so the URL are set. They're not exact match domain, but I'll retheme them accordingly. Are they keywords you use more from experience, or do you use the tools extensively? If tools, which tools work best for you that can be in a tight budget? I would say they're from experience and also just kind of thinking like, what would I type in to get this product? Like, what are the money keywords? You know, think buyer keywords. Someone's looking to buy. What are they going to type in? Do you have experience with .io domains? Do they have any advantages over more extensions? I bought one and it doesn't show any data in whois or in InfoDNS. Is this a good thing or a bad? I don't have any experience with them. I stick with .com.net.org. How important is the hosting footprint on tier 2? So when I have a DAS cluster, do I have to be as careful with linking to tier 1 as I have to be when linking to my site? I'll say you don't have to be as careful, Peter, but I mean, I'm always looking for footprints. Steven, and Jimmy would probably be good to talk to about that, Network Empire session. Have you ever had any experience with WordFence security plugin for WordPress? Is it a free plugin for security? Concerned about footprint issues, etc. Seems to do a nice job. Has blocked several hacker attempts from Russia. Yeah, I heard really good things about WordFence, but I've never used it. I should probably use security better, but I don't. Which video should I look at to start ranking my first affiliate site? I'm feeling pretty overwhelmed after seeing videos on DAS and Social Explosion. You can watch the Iowa City SEO example. You can watch the supremacy section where I talk about PBNs just linking out. I mean, all that stuff still fits, all right? And whoever just asked the last question, sink or swim section. That's the section I was thinking of. Sink or swim section is still very, very, very relevant for linking. That's probably the section you actually want to check out first. All right, Carl, I read in the newsfeed on the OMG site that you recommend to stay away from the shared host 24/7 and .easy due to footprint. Do you recommend not using them at all anymore, and what to do with the PBNs we have hosts on them? Don't use them at all. Change host. I had about 10 sites on each of those hosts, and they all got de-indexed. I found a footprint. For some reason, they individualize your websites. Like they're separate from. There's a footprint where it's separate from all the other sites on the server somehow, and it got all my sites taken out that were on those hosts. Do you recommend using Social Monkey of Colin Klinkert, and would you also use it for your Web Money site or only for your Web 2.0? I haven't used it in a long time, Carl, so I'm not sure if that's safe to use still. Susie, I have a money site with 5 PBNs pointing at it. I ran link research tools, detox on it, and picked out all 5 PBNs using as a being a potential link network with a suspicious 22 error. I have different hosting for all the sites. 3 have privacy, 2 are different fake names, are WordPress sites, different themes. The only commonality is that all domains are registered on GoDaddy. Is this enough to get suspicious flag, or am I missing something critical? It worries me that if LTR thinks the network, then Google may also think that. You might have another footprint you're not seeing. I'm not sure. I mean, I've never really gone off link research tools, to be honest, so I'm not sure. You might want to ask Jimmy about that, but there might be just a footprint you're not seeing. All right, from Chris, minor competitive niche. My gut was feeling something wasn't right due to the lack of keywords, so thanks for your thoughts. We'll try another parallel site within our domain at the same time. Yeah, and Chris, every once in a while that will happen, and it'll end up jumping up later on. But most of the time when that happens, it's just not a strong site, like something's up with it. Instead of domains on auction, are expired domains just as powerful for PBNs? Also, are there any good vendors for PBNs? Gregor Ortiz is a good vendor, but no, most expired domains are not going to be as powerful as auction, as the sites you can find at auction, because sites that aren't taken at auction are go to expired, and most of the good sites will get picked up at auction. Of course, there's sites that slip through, but most of the good sites are at auction. A new client wants my help to create a descriptive EMD for her new business, as it is likely to be 3 or 4 words long. What are the major disadvantages of using the root EMD domain name without the www prefix? I wouldn't worry about that, Jay. Don't worry about. I mean, you probably want to include it because I guess there's some tricks you can do down the road, but I've never used them. So, I mean, if you have sites that don't have www, don't worry about it. I still do, and that's not a concern of mine because I mean, it's technically considered a subdomain from what I understand, where you can fix things later on if something happens, but I've never even gone into that. I wouldn't worry about that. What's the first step when building links to an affiliate site? Is it best to build trust and authority through strong social profiles and then move to link for PBNs? Honestly, Steve, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Most of my affiliate sites, I link with PBNs right away. But in my case, I know exactly what I'm doing. I got the penalty check thing down. I'm good at finding PBNs. And then, of course, affiliate sites I'm not really worried about. It's not someone else's business. It's my sites. It's not like a client where if I mess up, I can mess up their site. So it depends on your situation, but I'm just being honest with you. With me, I usually just link PBN directly to the site when it is an affiliate site. That may not be what you want to do right away. If you want to protect the site, you may want to get some social profiles set up and all that. But it just depends on how comfortable you are and all that stuff. All right, from Tim, I've been trying to rank my local business site 2 years of age for 4 months now with 10 PBNs total. I'm stuck at 13 to 15. I tried de-optimizing the on-page content, but it had no effect. I did something stupid in November 2014 and bought a backlinks package that moved my site from number 12 to number 98. After a few months, the site was back to number 20. 6 months later, I asked the seller to delete the links. Today in WMT, there was nothing under manual penalty. I do not see the bought links either. Not sure what to do here. My guess is some type of optimization penalty. I don't know what you have your PBN saying. You could be using location too much, like St. Louis plumber in St. Louis plumber company, St. Louis, like you can't keep mentioning the location over and over. You can, if you get stuck there, you can try the string technique where you have, like plumbers, plumbing company, stuff like that, where they can kind of string it together. But yeah, I mean, without looking at the site, it's impossible to say. Do you use Social Explosion for social signals to your money site, or is there another service you use? Yeah, I use Social Explosion. If we have used all of the target anchors through our PBNs and our website is still not in the top 3 to 4 listings in Google, what should we start doing differently? We're trying to rank Chicago plumber, and we have a plumber in Chicago, Chicago plumber, Chicago plumbers, plumbers, Chicago, Illinois, etc. What should we do if we're still not ranking in the top positions? Again, what I just explained. Do some stringing stuff, like plumbing company. Like stop mentioning the location so much because that's very unnatural. You can do branded anchor text, stuff like that. Like if you keep hammering it with that, you can. There's something with mentioning a location too much that can get you in trouble. So just try more general stuff that's like niche related. If after linking to a money site from a PBN, the money site gets a penalty for linking to too soon, over-optimized anchor text, etc., would the PBN that linked out to the money site also get taken out? I mean, it could, Steve. I'm actually testing with some stuff with that now, retesting. Last time I checked, I did this test about 6 months ago. I had some PBNs that linked to sites that got penalties. And I took the content down from the PBN, linked out to new test sites, and it was totally fine. Like that, they moved the sites up, no penalties, nothing like that. So last time I tested this, it was fine. I'm retesting it right now because I mean you always got to retest. It's boring to retest stuff like that, but I'm in the process of retesting that right now. Last time I checked, it was fine to do. Most sites seem fine at least. All right. I'm sure there is cases though where it will also affect the PBN, but last time I checked, it didn't affect the PBNs that I checked. What is the best way to get a bunch of branded anchor text to balance a site that only has a bunch of keyword links? Less than 100. I mean, stuff like blog comment you can do, press releases, branded anchor text, social type stuff, anything like that. Recent took on a client that has had previous SEO. Their anchor text ratio is over optimized with not enough general anchors and over 1,000 links. Is there a way to safely dilute the anchor text without having to use one link at a time for PBNs? Yeah, with the same thing I just explained, Cliff. You can do, blog comments, press releases, social, stuff like that. Have you tested putting anchor in the sidebar rather than in the content of a post on PBNs? Yeah, I mean, I don't think it makes a ton of difference. I haven't noticed like a huge difference between the two. Maybe one's stronger than the other. I don't know. Same thing with footer. They all move sites. That's all I know. When dealing with page load speed, when minimizing JavaScript, how do you know which are external that you cannot fix? I personally don't deal with that type of stuff, Eric. I'll just hand that off to someone else. If my page is loading slow, I'll get someone to fix it. I don't know enough about the technical to do it myself. My best PBN has a link I sent out when I was beginning OMG to an expired domain money site that never ranked. Recently saw that 2 of my other PBNs sending links to that money site had penalties. This best PBN also had a Google verification code within the site. This may be why it didn't get penalized when others did. This best PBN passes the penalty checks you recommend we do. My question is, should I delete the post on this best PBN to the penalized money site? How can I safely disassociate this PBN from the other penalized sites? I would like to keep using it if possible. I mean, yeah, you can delete the post and make a new one. I mean, is there a risk of it getting a penalty later on? Yes. But again, I just kind of talked about this. Last time I checked, all the tests I did, the sites that I did that with were fine. I'm rechecking it now, but last time I checked, that was fine to do. But of course, there's a risk there. Because I mean, it's definitely something that's possible where that could get a penalty, and then it could hurt you later down the road. What is the max number of links for one PBN post, and how many pages of your site can you max link from one post? Can it be good to have more links from one post to diversify and delete your keyword anchor text? For example, would it be good to have 2 keyword anchor texts, one brand and one generic? I usually don't do that, Carl. But again, the more stuff you link out to from one PBN, just the more risk. That's all. So it's just up to you what you want to do there. I know it's not recommended, but does using a PBN to several money sites in different niches still work? Absolutely still works. No doubt about it. It's generally considered unsafe because it leaves a footprint to your other money sites, correct? Yeah, I mean, like if all your PBNs got hit and then you're only linking like from PBNs to your money sites, then they all get penalties. That could take out your whole network and then all of the stuff you're linking to. So I mean, it just increases the chance of bad stuff happening. It doesn't mean it will, but it just increases those chances. Do you ever use press releases for more URL branded anchors? Yes, I have. When building a site in the gold and silver niche, how many words would you allow within your article, and what would be the level of quality within your article? Definitely high quality. I mean, anything that's meant as a money site, you want high quality. How many words to allow? I mean, the more the better, but I would do at least 500. How I see the overview of SEO, the future of SEO. I think it's going to be the same for a while. I mean, it's very obvious that Google needs links to determine who ranks where. I mean, what else are they going to use? I mean, links are the easiest thing to determine who should be ranked where. So, I mean, I think it's going to stay the same for a long time. If it changes, it'll be a slow change. And it should be pretty easy to keep up with. Do I need to add privacy settings on my Whois for all my affiliate money sites or only my PBNs? Is there a way Google could track that? I have multiple affiliate sites, and would it cause a problem if all these sites could be tracked in one person? I always do, Malene. I put privacy on all my sites, money site or not. So I would personally use that privacy. Do citations help with ranking? I know you use several citations in one of your OTS series. I was told it was not for ranking though, but someone else just wanted to be sure I was clear on this. Yeah, citations help with the ranking. I even did a test a few months ago where I picked a random site and the site wasn't even in the Google business, and I just sent citations to it and moved it up organically like 4 pages. So, I mean, yeah, they help with rankings. Maps and organic. You said a lot of your domains are host 9. Do you link them to the same money site because they change IP? Do you use reseller account? Yeah, I have the reseller account, Thierry. But I'm also careful, like, if I have 2 money sites in the same niche on host 9, I usually won't do that because I don't want to be linking to 2 host 9 sites from the same PBN. I'm not saying that would hurt me, but I mean, it's just something that can be easily tracked. Again, it's probability. Like if they catch that footprint, okay, well this PBN is linking out to 2 host 9 sites. That's 1 point for footprint. And then if I have maybe another little footprint or something, well, I don't know, anything, maybe that would put my footprint score over the threshold and get me penalized. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I just try to limit what can be a footprint as much as possible. All right, where can I find your America Speaks information? I've been able to view several of your OTS series, and they have all been fantastic. I've not found the America Speaks material. I don't know where David put that, Stephen. You can ask in the Facebook group. I'm sure someone will tell you where it is. I live in Quebec. To work with local businesses, preferable to have .ca as a money site, and what about .ca as a PBN? Whatever's ranking, Gene. Go do a search, whatever is ranking for that. If there's a lot of .ca sites, use them. If there's a lot of .coms, use that, or .com.org, use them. But my guess is Canada, either .ca or .com.org should be fine. But just do a search, and if you're seeing mostly .ca, use .ca. All right, and .ca as a PBN would be fine. Penalty check can be found in the March, April, May mastery webinars. If the PBN gets penalized, can it affect any money sites it's linking to? Absolutely. If so, would it be likely the money site linked to in the last post? Thanks. I mean, it can affect everything it's linked to, Steve. It depends what other links those sites have. If you have a money site that just has one link from one penalized PBN, you're most likely screwed. That money site's screwed. But if you have a money site where it has like 100 links and just one of those links from a penalized PBN, then most likely it's going to be totally fine. Just it depends what other stuff you have involved. I've been struggling with ranking using my PBN, so I'm just clear. If I have the setup PBN1, host 1, link to 01, money 01. This is confusing, so I'm not going to read it. You can read along with me if you want. Yeah, Eric, that should be fine. Just be careful, how many times you're doing that. And again, the more you link out to, the more risk you're putting yourself in. Of course, I link to multiple things. I'm just putting myself in more risk in those situations. If I have something like really important, like an important client, I'm using one PBN and only linking to their site. That's it. No one else's. I'm taking out any risk. You know what I mean? So it just depends on the situation. All right, for low, medium, competitive keywords, getting 100,000 searches a month, would you say safe anchor text ratio is 5 to 10% for exact match, dog trainer lay, and long tail? I mean, I don't look a ton at anchor ratio. I usually just use variations, Cliff. Like, I'll do like dog trainer lay dash, the dog, like the expert trainer, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, I'll just add other words in and stuff like that a lot. I don't use the same keyword a ton. I usually don't need to. Does Host9 put all your sites on a different IP, even if they are add-on domains in the same account? A lot of times they will, Carl. I mean, they can end up on the same IP, but a lot of times I find they're on a different IP. What tool do you use to keep track of rankings? I use Microsite Masters. I would use the command center, but I don't feel like switching all my campaigns. It's like 15,000 keywords. If you send keyword anchor text to your homepage in order to boost one of your inner pages, do you also have to be careful to not over-optimize, or is there no risk at all because you're not trying to rank your homepage for those keywords? In other words, can it be harmful for the inner page you want to rank for the homepage that's over-optimized for your keywords? I mean, if the homepage is not optimized for the keywords you're sending to the homepage, you're less likely to be hit with any over-optimization. That's going to lower your chance of over-optimization, right? So it doesn't mean you can't get over-optimized, it just lowers your chance because that specific page isn't optimized for those keywords. In response to market level keywords, but at the same time, Cora, I wouldn't, like, don't push it. You know, just stay safe. Like, just do the same thing we teach. Because again, you don't need to keep repeating the same keyword. You can do the keyword plus other words. In response to market level keywords, plumbing company, plumber brand, etc. I did those as well. Website still won't budge. I've been linking to the website since December 20th, 2014, 12 PBNs total for a local suburb, 90 searches per month. I would have to see the site, Mike. You know, there's so many other things that could be involved. Like make sure you check your on page against your competition. You know, do what they're doing, all that. I'm sure you've answered this multiple times, but do I need to wait until I have a PBN set up on hosting and everything to do a penalty check? Yes. Need to wait. You need to have it up hosted and have content on it to do a penalty check. Unfortunately, I haven't found anything to check while it's in auction. I have a PBN with a post that I wanted to delete because a link in the post to a my site I no longer want to link to. It's a post to an English linking to a foreign site. However, the content of the post is good. It's okay to delete the post but keep the content and then just repost the same content in a few days with different links or either the same or different PBN. It's okay to do this. It's better to post on a different PBN. Again, that kind of goes with your previous question, Steve. It should be fine to do. You know, something I've been retesting with. Last time I tested it was fine. Can a site with mobility issues identified in Google Web Master Tools have its ranking affected in desktop search? Not that I've seen, Tim, but I'm not sure. Can watch a video on a page, get Google to recrawl it? I don't know. I don't know anything about that, Paul. I'm unsure. Do you recommend any press release services? Do you use these for local sites as well? I mean, I don't use press releases a ton, Mike, so I can't really recommend a specific service. I mean, I think PR Newswire or something I've used those decent. PR Web's good, but they're expensive. I would have to look back at the stuff I'd done. How many affiliate sites can one PBN link to? So if I have 5 affiliate sites related to health products, can I have one PBN with multiple posts which are linked to those 5 affiliate sites? Do we still need to retheme the PBNs with a theme of my affiliate sites? Again, this goes back. You can do that, but again, you're just putting more stuff at risk, right? Would you use a press release to dilute anchor text as the domain as an EMD? Even if they use URL anchor text, there's still a chance to over-optimize, correct? I know Network Empire said that. I haven't seen that myself. Just because I've never tried to do that. I'm not sure if I've ever done a press release with an EMD. So, but I think it should be fine though. I don't think that's going to over optimize you, in my opinion. Is the gold niche still a viable niche for affiliate marketing? It is a competitor, but is it oversaturated? Also, is this niche likely to be targeted by Google, like the payday loans niche was a few years ago? I don't think so, Steve. I think it's still a fine niche to go after, although I've been out of it for a while. If the affiliate site reveal you said you bought an expired domain, was this just age or did it have DA as well? Will simply buying an age domain give me any sorts of boost? Yeah, I mean, age should give you a little boost, but most of it's going to come, from the links going to it. Most of your boost is going to come from, powerful, like, links. is where you're going to get your power. But I think just age with no links will help you a little bit. Okay, and yeah, Chris says the America Speaks video is on the main coaching page. Thanks, Chris. How soon after you build a link on a PBN can you delete the link without hurrying? Thanks for the help. See you in Dallas. You can delete it right away. What I've seen with links, I don't know what you mean by without hurting, but usually when you delete a link, you don't lose the power from it right away. Again, just like getting links, it's kind of like a gradual decrease. So if you're ranked number 1 and then the link that you got to rank number 1 gets taken away, you might just slowly drop over time. Like you're not going to lose all the power of that link like in a blink. It's going to slowly happen over time, and that's what I've seen. All right, I have a niche that would be well served by every major city and maybe one state in the U.S. is for one client that operates all over the U.S. In a perfect world, would you just have one website or like 50? People would be more inclined to put keywords that are more local specific, and would these websites be EMDs or each one branded but with major keywords in them? There's ups and downs to each. Having 50 different websites, they're each their individual website, and if something happens to one, it doesn't affect the other, unless you create some type of footprint. The thing with one is it's a lot easier to manage. You can build up the DA. It's a lot easier, a lot less work. Then if it gets hit, everything's taken out. So it's really up to you what direction you want to go. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer there. And EMD or branded, it's fine. Again, that's just another. You could do some EMD, some branded if you go the 50 route. What tools do I use to keep organized? Mostly Notepad and Microsoft Excel, to be honest. I'm getting my first money site up and running, getting ready to turn up the juice. I'm really struggling with the local address question. I could use my home address as a local address, but I'm not crazy about doing that, especially when adding all the social sites. Is there any good new information on acquiring an affordable local business address? It seems that Google's cracking down on some of the methods we used before. Everyone's still using virtual offices, Donald. People stopped using the mail forwarding Joe was doing at his recommendation, but virtual offices are still working totally fine. So let's see if we got any more here. All right, so let me get through these last few. Then we will get rolling. Hopefully me or Chris can get this recording over to David. When you said you were using Host9, was that for your money sites or for your PBNs as well? I'm trying to find good hosting for my PBNs. If it was for PBNs, are you sending links from these PBNs on Host9 to the same money site? I'm not using that for PBN, Sierra, just for money sites right now. Just because I have so many sites there as money sites, I don't want to start mixing PBNs in there. Just because I have so many. I understand one PBN linking to each money site, but can I use the same PBN for a number of money sites if the money sites are all in the same niche? Yeah, you can do that. Again, if something happens to that PBN, you're just risking the chances of affecting more money sites. You got it, Eric. I have preloaded a website which is being shared with other partners so that the content will be duplicated for each company that loads the website. Sounds like I would draw a duplicate content penalty eventually. What is my best course of action? Depends what type of site it is. In local, that should be fine as long as the location is changing. So I have to see that. I'm not the greatest with duplicate content because I just don't mess with it. I don't use the same content anywhere, so I just don't have that data. But the safest course of action, in my opinion, is just get uniqueness. Whatever you got to do to get unique content, do it. That's my advice. For me, duplicate content is just easy to avoid. It's a little more work getting that unique content, but that's a factor you just don't got to worry about down the road. I don't worry about duplicate content penalties because I don't use it. I don't have to worry about that at all. It's just something that's easy to cut out by using unique content. Is it okay to have several affiliate products ClickBank on one money site, or would it be better to build a website for each product? All products are in the same niche. Yeah, I mean, you can do both, Sue. Again, that goes back to the 50 sites or one site. If you have 50, each is their separate site. If something happens to one site, it's not going to affect the others unless you have footprint issues. If you have one big site, it's going to be a lot easier to manage. A lot easier to build that DA. But if something happens to that site, it takes out everything. So I mean, there's ups and downs of both sides. Would it make sense to link a PBN to an inner page on my site to help rank that page, or would it be a waste of time and better off going to the main domain? Yeah, absolutely. It makes sense to link to an inner page. I mean, I'll usually start by doing that, and then if I have problems there, I'll go to the home page. Unless the site is widely about a specific topic, like if I have a site about, let's say I have like 100 pages on baseball cards, I'll send a ton of baseball card related keywords to the home page because I have so many inner pages about that I just want to get that relevancy going, and then that'll boost up all those pages just from that relevancy. From the that's a lot easier to do that way. So it depends how your site's set up and like how many pages you have. But usually I just link to that inner page to start, and I'll go to the home page if I need to. I have a local lead gen site that is ranking well in Bing and Yahoo, but not very well in Google. Any ideas why this might be and what could change? Yeah, I know exactly why, because they're different algorithms. Bing and Yahoo, you can rank a lot quicker. Bing and Yahoo, it seems they have it seems they're using like the Google algorithm from 2 years ago. You can just like fire links at a site with keyword optimized anchor text, and you're going to rank in Yahoo and Bing. And that's kind of how Google was a couple years ago. So it just seems like they're copying Google's algorithm, but they're a couple years behind. So, but I mean that's why. And a lot of my sites start out like that. So. All right, so it looks like that is it. Benefits to using citations without an exact address. I mean, it's just going to boost your domain authority. Last one from Steve here. I have a new client that wants to rank in all towns and cities in a 30-mile radius of his primary location. Is it better to use a branded domain or build a silo for each location, or just build a normal site and try to rank the home page for different locations using anchor text on my PBNs? I mean, I would likely go with a branded for a business like that, Steve. I would probably go with branded and then silo for each location, most likely. All right. All right, so it looks like we're good. Again, I will try to get this recording over to Dave. I'll try to work it out. If not, hopefully Chris can do it. If you guys want to see the replay, all right. And of course, my next session will be next Monday at 1. All right, thanks for coming out, guys. I will see you in the next webinar.